Director John Ford often used Native Americans not only as actors in his westerns, but also for other jobs. When filming Fort Apache, many scenes required certain weather conditions, so Ford began paying a Navajo healer to give him predictions. Some days they came true accurately, but one day the healer said he could no longer predict. When asked why, he said that an actor had taken his radio receiver. According to Chinese legend, an official named Wang Hu was the first person to try to fly away from Earth in a rocket. According to some accounts, he lived 2,000 years BC, others in the 16th century. Whatever the case, the story is this. Wang Hu was an important Mandarin and commanded to build himself a machine to fly to the moon. The apparatus was a chair to which 47 powder rockets were strapped. Wang Hu sat on the chair, his servants set fire to the rockets, and the apparatus exploded. When the smoke cleared, neither the chair nor the Mandarin were on the launching pad. In 1206, during the civil wars in Norway, warriors, bygone, skied 54 kilometers in a snowstorm with half-a-year-old Håkon Håkonsson in his arms. They saved the future king of Norway from the opponents, bogglers. In honor of that event is held annually ski race bygone. All participants carry a 3.5-kilogram backpack symbolizing the weight of the royal baby. Before shooting Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the director asked the young actors Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, who play Harry, Hermione, and Ron respectively, to write an essay on the character of their character. Daniel wrote a one-page essay, Emma penciled in 16 pages, and Rupert nailed the assignment on July 17, 1975. The Soviet Soyuz spacecraft and the American Apollo spacecraft docked. The ships were scheduled to fly over Moscow at the moment of docking, but the calculations were not quite right and the cosmonauts shook hands while flying over the Elbe River. Symbolically, 30 years earlier, Soviet and American soldiers, allies in World War II, had met on the Elbe. In the 19th century, Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup for children was popular in the United States and Great Britain and was considered an indispensable aid for mothers and nannies. It helped with any pain because it contained morphine and ammonia. Of course, what child would not calm down if given such a syrup? The 1927 American film Love, based on Anna Karenina, has two different endings. An alternative happy ending about Anna and Vronsky reuniting after Karenin's death, envisioned for the US box office, and a traditional tragic ending for the European box office. The Bacchus clock of the 16th century. It is believed that they were given to Ivan the Terrible because during his reign they stood in the fasted chamber where foreign ambassadors were received. When the clock strikes the hour, the figures come to life. Bacchus holds a glass of wine to his mouth. The sentries on the tower go round and round. The chaser whips the elephant, and the little man behind Bacchus strikes the bell according to the number of hours. On August 6, 1945, Japanese engineer Tsutomu Yamaguchi was among those in Hiroshima during the atomic bombing of the city. After spending the night in a bomb shelter, he returned to his hometown, Nagasaki, the next day and was exposed to a second atomic blast. Yamaguchi was the last living person officially recognized as a victim of the two bombings until early 2010. Buttons appeared long before our era, but were used only as decoration. Around the 12th–13th century, buttons became known again in Europe, but now they had a functional meaning of buttoning, not only decorative. In the Middle Ages, buttons became such a popular accessory that by their number on clothes one could judge the status of the owner. For example, one of the outfits of the French King Francis had 13,600 buttons.